got it. The mouth gets dry. Gotta lube it up.
I am a responsible adult.
We're back.
We are back. Welcome to After the Read. I'm Ashton.
And I'm Kaylee.
And today we'll be discussing Heir of Fire.
Heir of Fire.
Yeah.
I feel like we chaoled on it with
Chaol and Rowan.
Now we gotta talk about other people.
So this
Not
one.
a lot happens.
Not a lot, and then a lot. It's a setup book.
But it's important.
Yeah, it's set up, and it's not like a setup book where you're like, oh god, this is a setup book. Like, it's actually well done because it's setting you up for like the rest.
And yeah.
And a lot happens, but then a lot doesn't happen at the same time. So we're like, in this book, you're actually introduced to the witches, which to begin with, you're not really sold on, but when you like get to the middle to the end, you're like, but well, for me, when I first started, I always liked them, but I was kind of like, why are we getting introduced to witches? Like in the beginning, I was like, why is this happening? And I kind of like,
that's true.
And I was
really
a little bit
like out there.
confused, but then they become like a staple, and I was like, it started with me going, oh, I'm not really looking forward to reading more about the witches, because this does like, it's split into 3 different places. Like you're reading like from Chaol and Dorian, and then you've got Aelin and Rowan, who you get introduced to. And then you've also got like Manon and her 13 and everything. And I just remember when I came to the witches, for the first like 3 or 4 chapters of the witches, I wasn't excited.
Like, why?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't understand why this is happening.
Well,
but then I got through it and I was like, oh my god, I love them. I wish they had their own book.
Yes, I still do. So if by any chance Sarah's watching this,
even like Manon and her 13, that's all I want to know. Like they're like training together, like how they got their relationships, how they got their roles, like how they became the 13, like the coven, and it's amazing. And they're amazing.
I love them so much.
That being said, when you were introduced to the witches, where did you see it going in the book? Because I couldn't figure it out until I was about like here, that I could figure out like what was changing and what was happening. Like, when did you figure it out? Because it took me a little while, but I think it's because I wasn't sold on them at the same time.
I thought that it's actually Manon, and I keep forgetting that I was saying Manon, but I thought that Manon was going to, it's just so weird to say those damn names. I thought that she was going, I thought it was going to take her a lot longer to switch sides. Yeah. And then I wasn't
But she doesn't 100% swap sides in this one, but you can see that she's swapping.
Doesn't she?
No, because she's still, it's the next one.
Oh, okay. Well, it took me a while. And I thought that she would take longer too, even though she. You can
see that like we're not really giving a lot away, because you can when you're reading it, you can see that she's swapping sides.
I hope,
but it's the next one that she actually swaps. Like it's the next one where she meets Dorian.
Yes, I hoped that they would be bigger characters because I just love them so much.
They're like dynamic. It's just written so well.
Yeah, I just thought it was more like this is what Erewhon's up to, and this is what they're up against sort of deal. Not that they would be a big character, just like a...
And that's why like towards the end you can kind of see like where it's going.
Yeah, I just thought it was more like information so that we're more like on edge.
Yeah.
But then they were amazing.
They are,
so much.
Yeah. It's like, but when did you see it happening? Because it took me a little while.
See what happening? That they were bigger?
Like her change. Like it took me a little bit because she just seemed like she was, like it always seemed like she was struggling with it, but it wasn't until toward the end that I kind of realized that she was going to the other side, especially like when...
I think it was when she met the wyverns, honestly.
Yeah, when she met Abraxas.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, this thing smells flowers. There's no way she's gonna be...
Yeah,
there's no side of evil.
Like, and I wish I'd seen that, because like when I read it the second time, I'm kind of like, he wouldn't act like that way unless he was comfortable to act that way. Like considering that she's like, she's a born killer. Like she was made to be
like if he
cutthroat. Like
if he ended up being, I mean he wouldn't because he was a bait, but if he ended up being Iskra's, he'd be dead. 100%. She would have never like put up with that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, because I didn't see it then. I saw it when I saw it in the games. the Witch Games when she went after Keely
Right.
and Petra.
Yeah.
That's when I saw it. I'm like,
It was
that's
because of...
yeah, because of Keely. She has yeah.
I love them so much. I love everyone in here.
Mm-hmm.
I love them all.
And then like
But yeah, it took me until they met the Wyverns and that she trained him and he was like she never would, like she would kind of like give him shit and stuff, but she was never like too hard on him for being like
it was actually
really friggin' cute.
I lie, like I just remembered when I saw it was when she went to get the spider silk for her to reinforce his wings.
Right.
That's when I started to see the shift in her because
Right.
I was like, she's actually caring about something enough. And not just to make him stronger and a better flyer for like the Witch Games, it was to make him stronger and a better flyer so that he had a better chance
too.
and like
Yes.
because he was a bait wyvern like to begin with. So I think that
made me
was
so sad.
I
And it
know.
also made me sad that there were like other bait ones that she didn't save.
I know.
And I feel like they should have been let go.
I know.
And I had a little heartbreak when nothing happened with the other ones. They just kept being bait. Poor
know.
creatures. I felt bad because I love them so much.
made me sad.
Ew.
But then the other new characters that were introduced to was Emerus and Malachi and what's his name?
I was
The other one in the kitchen.
I was trying to look for it and I couldn't remember
Emerus,
it.
Luca.
Yes.
Luca.
Yes. Oh, they were so good.
I know.
When Emerus hits them with the pot.
And like his storytelling and the fact that he knew
loved
Celaena's mom.
Yeah.
I felt like that was such a good little connection, like an
Yeah,
unexpected
he was very
little
like endearing.
connection.
I think to everybody. I would be hard pressed to find someone who didn't like
Yeah.
Emerus. How do you say it? Emerus?
Emrys, I think.
Emerus?
Maybe.
Emrys.
It sounds Celtic to me, which
We're
is why I
probably
say
wrong.
it like that. But
We're probably wrong.
one of us is probably right. We got a 50% chance.
Yeah,
of this.
that's true.
But I loved their dynamic. Like I just loved the fact that like he kind of just accepted her straight away. Like didn't really like I can't remember if he asked why or if he did and then like he just accepted the answer. Like it was like okay, like
Right.
this is what you do. Blah blah.
I think he was hesitant, but she looked so much like her mom that he knew who she was right away.
Yeah.
So he was protective like right off the bat.
Yeah, and I just love that when they were in what is it called? It's not Doranel, it's the other one. But everyone there, like when they're
So
in
bad
Mistward,
names.
when they're in
Yes.
Mistward, everyone has a role. And
Yes.
everyone does something to give
Yeah.
back to the thing. And I just love
What is
that
the purpose
feeling.
of that place though?
It's
just
the
a
in-between
protective thing?
No, it's the in-between. Like all of them want to try to get into Doranel, but they don't
Oh, but
have
they
the key.
can't, so
But
she
then-
won't let them in?
Yeah, because they're not strong enough.
Right.
But then
Okay. 'Cause was
I think
like,
they
what's
just
the
built
point
their
of
own
that?
little
Why did
community
she-
and then that
yeah.
was it, you
Right.
know? So,
I do love it though.
I know,
I love
I'd almost pick Mistward over Doranel.
I was really sad when she got sent there because obviously I didn't want her to leave Chaol, but
Yeah.
when she got there and you meet all the characters and I was okay. I had to come to terms.
But I just really liked that there was like this whole place that like magic still existed and like as much as it had like the bad things going on as well, it just had for one of a better, it was whimsical. Like you would like, it was explained and you're like, oh, it's like this nice little community and everyone takes care of each other and everyone gives back and everyone's sort of really accepting of who they are and like what they're there for and they don't care that they're demi-fae and they don't care that they don't have powers. It's just like, it was just such like a nice
like everyone
accepting,
everyone helps out.
nurturing.
No one is like bigger than another. Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah. It just made me like, oh, just gave me like this sense of like hope that and like you know how protective I am with her is like just hope that she was like this, she'll be okay.
She needed that to like make her light come back on, but it just was.
And I liked how Emerus like
I just am mad at her.
Scolded
that
Rowan, like he just scolded him. It's like, how dare you do that to her? Blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, man, like you, you like,
get it, girl.
Like, and I was like, dead straight, Rowan. Like, stop being so harsh.
I think that's why I was like so not a fan, is because he was so terrible to her. And I know that you don't know his backstory yet, so maybe I like would have felt a little, because you know Celaena's backstory, so when she is kind of, even though I was so annoyed when
And
she
it
was
was-
like so bitchy to everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, come on,
Oh,
they're
when
all
she-
nothing but nice to you, and she ripped Emery's apart.
I was so upset
I was
about
like,
that.
I
I was
do
like,
not
you,
like
I'm
you
like,
right now.
You need to stop. You need to put yourself in check. Like, this guy's taking care of you. This guy has stopped people from saying things. He feeds you. Like, like, get your head out of your ass, girl. Because like, you need to like see what you are doing.
Yes. And that's like the only time that I've ever been like, well,
Luca, I wasn't so like, because Luca needed to be taken down a peg or two.
yeah,
like,
but
when she
not
said-
like
not,
that.
Not like
that
that.
was brutal.
Not like that. I was just like looking at it, being like, "Hey, Luca, like, yeah, you're a bit annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't deserve that, but you deserve something." Like,
Yes, I agree. I really just loved them all, and I wish
Yeah.
she would have like been not a turd for as long as she did.
Yeah.
To Rowan, yeah, because he was a pretty big jerk, but like no one else treated her like that. So I wish she would have like just targeted him and not.
And I feel like in a way, like,
enemies.
she needed to be treated like that in order to realize how she was treating other people. Because like sometimes she could be really, like, not as severe as like what he was doing it, but like she needed that person to kind of like ground her,
not
like,
put up with her.
Yeah, because she'd had so many people just like, I mean, she'd already been through a lot, but
Well,
like
she could
a lot of
basically
people,
just do whatever she wanted.
yeah, and then like
She
now
had
this
no
person's
chat.
just like,
She
no.
said whatever she wanted. She did whatever she wanted.
Which is why I
hurt
think you put her
whoever
in,
she wanted.
Yeah, which is
So,
why
yeah,
I think you put
I
her
do
in the
agree.
kitchen, because
Right.
you're forced to like be doing all this for other people, and there's no
Right.
return for it. Like,
Right.
you cook the food and then you're washing the dishes, so
Right.
like there's no return in that. Like,
Yes.
you're doing everything.
Yeah.
Which is why I think you put her in the kitchen, because
Yeah.
I was like, well, actually, in
But
order
that
to like
wasn't the-
ground someone, that's the way place to do it.
Right. But that wasn't why I thought he was a jerk, just because he put her in the
No,
kitchen.
I'm just like he was a jerk. Like, he was a
Yeah.
jerk to her, and I think the pivotal scene to me was like when they were in the hallway and he said something about whipping her and she said something about something else, and they both like hit those chords that like both of them had these like chords that was like hit, and it just kind of, that was the scene. And then when he figured out her backstory, he was just like, whoa,
Ooh, shoot. Yeah.
and then things changed. Yeah, and then things changed, and then she was also like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that either.
Right. I know she tried to beat him up a couple times, but like when he hit her cord, all she said was like, if you ever try to whip me, I'll... Did she say she'd kill herself, or did she just say she'd kill you or something? Kill him.
I can't remember.
I think she said she'd kill him, and when she hit his cord, he punched her in the face.
You always go back to this like punching in the face
I
thing.
know, but
like,
I
it's
still
like,
don't think it's okay.
I don't think it's okay either, but it's also like
And
they
you're
were
just like,
training.
it's just a Faye thing, and I'm like,
But it kind of like, it's not the first time like some
But I'm
you
pretty
hear
sure-
those like things like in this.
I
book
know,
anyway, like,
but I'm pretty sure they don't just go around hitting women in the face, even if they're Faye.
no, like
She's another
I don't
man,
think they do.
maybe.
But like if she like she obviously struck a chord, and she's like in his face about something and said something that like really like got it, and like his knee-jerk reaction is just to punch her, and like they've been training and everything, so she should have kind of expected a reaction. Punching in the face, a bit far, but like she should have expected
like
some
sweep her legs out from under her or something.
that would have
Like,
been funny.
yeah.
Oh, nope.
But
down.
no, I'm just gonna punch you in the face when I'm like a superhuman and you're still in your human body.
Yeah, but
She wasn't even Faye yet.
so.
There's so much in here that we...
But then there's so much that like after like they actually get over their egos, which I think a lot of it is their ego. Like once they're over their egos, he does so much to like keep her safe from Maeve, and like he's like, don't tell me certain things because I
but
will
that
be
doesn't
forced
come
to
till
tell.
after.
No, this is what I'm saying. Like after like they put their egos aside,
Then
and
he
like
does,
and then you do they were doing the training, and he's like asking her for help to find out like what's going on with these demi-fae that are getting like they're like everything, like they're scared to death essentially. And I think it showed a lot on his part about like how he cared for her, like not that she realized it yet, because she's still seeing like how she like misses Chaol, and that even the Fae consent that she's not like that she's taken, and like he can taste that she's taken when he bites her and whatnot.
I don't think he could.
No, he said he
but in other books, no, he just said like he knew because she told him, like she'd wear the ring and stuff.
No, he asked her.
He never, not from the blood, because in another book he says
because she doesn't taste like it anymore. No, like
because he said it drove me wild, and that's why I was annoyed with you.
Well, but he also mentioned something about the fact that she tastes like another male.
We'll have to look that up.
We'll have to look it up because
But I'm pretty sure it's just because he knew before, because she told him about Chaol. That's before she bit him, or he bit her. Because she told, and then she said, I thought he was my mate. So he knows about Chaol. And that's why he says, you don't bite another person's mate.
But I'm pretty sure he asked because you could taste something in her. And then she was also like, there's also a scent, like, because she was saying, like, the guys always, like, turn away or something. Like, people were always, like, looking away from her. And he's like, that's because, like, they won't touch another male's woman, or, like, another male's mate.
But I wonder if that wasn't about Chaol, if they were doing that because she was with Rowan all the time.
I'm pretty sure it was before she was sleeping in the bed.
No, I know, but still, they were with each other every day.
Yeah, it could be, but I have a feeling he said something specific about that. About it being like...
I don't think he said she tasted any different.
I'm gonna find it because I remember him saying something about her, like, tasting or scent. Like, he's like,
when did he bite her
He won't
first?
do that. Yeah, that's it. Like, because he's like, I won't do that again.
What do I not say about Maeve? She's a real basket of chickens, isn't she? She's a real turd, is what she is. She's a good character, but you love to hate her. But sometimes you think there's like a redeeming quality, which is why it's so weird. Like, because she's an evil person, it just doesn't, it never made sense to me why she would like be good sometimes. But she did love this land. It's not that she wanted to leave or wreck it or anything like that. She essentially was on their side, but she just wanted to, you know, not be nice about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Torture people into submission.
And like, I know, I understand, like, she's
kill,
like,
maim, you know, those types of things.
and I don't understand why she didn't send for help. And I know we're going a little bit into the other ones, like when she didn't send for like help for like other places that were getting overtaken by Erewhon's army and whatnot.
Right.
But she helped Brannon put the two brothers away, like even her husband. Like,
I know.
She like seemed like, so your fear is of like Erewhon figuring out who you are, but then also
you don't want to help anyone when he's like clearly in. I know.
Yeah.
I never understood that. Like, you want that to happen, so why aren't you helping at all?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And sometimes she would and sometimes she wouldn't, and it just didn't. Her agenda never made any sense to me, but I guess that's the point of her. You don't want to guess what she will do and what she won't because she's so important.
And maybe she just want to be predictable.
Right. So.
And I know like she holds herself up essentially to make sure that.
Right. And I know that I feel like that was like a more of a vengeance thing rather than I am annoyed with you more than I want. This will help my agenda, so like I'm not gonna send help because you're pissed. You pissed me off, so I'm not gonna. Because she is like that. She's very petty and terrible. I just don't know how she got so many people. I mean, I guess she played with their mind.
Yeah, and I don't understand like how.
But like Gabriel, he just did it out of his own, like, Rowan, she caught him kind of at a bad time. She used his like ego to get him.
And she like manipulated him into.
Lorcan was in love with her, so
yeah.
I mean she kind of got him. But like
Fenris is because his brother.
Yeah, his brother. So he didn't really want to do it, but he did, and
air rushed down her throat in a whoosh. She gave the down greedy gulps, hardly registering the agony as she shifted into her back into her mortal form, the world gone quite dull again. Does your lover know what you are? A cold question. She lifted her head, not caring how he'd found out. He knows everything. Not entirely true. His eyes flickered with what emotion she couldn't tell. I won't be biting you again, he said, and she wondered just what he tasted in her blood. She growled, but the sound was muted, faintless. Even if it's the only way to get me to shift, he walked uphill to the ridge. You don't bite the women of other males.
Yeah, but she wonders what he tasted. He never confirms.
No, but like
so I don't know if she's just like.
But she hasn't told him. She goes, you don't bite the women of other males. Like he knows that like it's like something in the blood.
That could go either way. I'm not ready to give that one to
She
you.
goes, we're not together, not anymore. I let him go before I came here. Why? Flat bored, but still slightly curious. What did she care if he knew? She curled her hand into a fist in her lap, her knuckles white every time she glanced at the ring, rubbed it, caught it gleaming, punched a hole right through her. Because he's safer if he's as repulsed by me as you are. And then he goes, at least you've already learned one lesson.
Right, but he never says I tasted it in your blood. She just
But
says I wonder.
Yeah, but you can tell
I
that he's
don't know.
tasted it in
I'm
her
not-
blood by the way, because she hasn't told him yet.
I'm not ready to give that to you.
We can read it
He
again.
watched her.
When?
He watched her. He was a hawk form watching her. She stuck her tongue out at him.
I know, but he doesn't know about Chaol. Not until like here.
I think Maeve knew about Chaol, and therefore he knew about Chaol.
But how would she have been able to see Chaol? Oh, I guess we don't know about that yet in this.
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't think he tasted it in her blood.
I feel like he did because he claims her. Like they claim each other using blood, so clearly you can taste something in the blood. Unless it's like just like
No,
unless it's like
I
a
think it's just like
pheromone
a-
or something. Like she like lets
it
off.
might be, yeah, because of their smell.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in her blood because otherwise she would. I don't think, as much as I want him to, I don't think Chaol was that imprinted on her that it'd be in her blood.
But she thought he was her
But probably
mate.
pheromones.
But she thought he was her mate.
I would love to believe you that he's in her blood.
But she-
I love it.
But I think it's because she thought he was her mate, so she was holding on to it.
I think it's more like a pheromones thing.
It could be, but he tasted something like being like he knew that
He
she
never said that. She did.
but he knew that they had sex. Because he said, "Does your lover know what you are?" What else do you think he's referring to?
Maybe he smells
I feel like you're holding on
cinnamon.
to I feel like
Maybe he smelled cinnamon.
I feel like you're like holding on to this because you want to be right, but
manly
like
smell. I don't know. I think that you're reading something different than I am.
it could be that, but like
We'll have
he
to
definitely
Q&A.
yeah.
We'll have to
What do
Q&A
you
Sarah.
think? Am
Did
I
he taste it in her blood or did he smell it on her body?
overall opinions on the book?
I did like it. I learned a lot,
Yep.
but it wasn't my favorite one of the series. But I understand why it's important.
The first time I read it, didn't particularly enjoy it.
Yeah.
It felt like it just dragged on. But the second time, like I read it,
It was
it
better.
was better. Like it's
I would
you've
give
got to
a
read it.
C.
If I have anything to say like about it is you have to read it slowly because otherwise you miss
Yes.
the little things that are being said, and then the end you're kind of like, oh, that kind of just happened, but really it's been happening along the whole time. You just
Yes.
don't notice it because when it comes
You're
to
not looking for it.
well, and when it comes to me with like books that I'm kind of like not sold on, but I want to read the next one, I read them pretty quick. Like I'm just like,
Yes.
I'm like, oh
Skim
yeah,
it.
okay, what, yep, cool. But then when I reread it the second time, I
Yeah.
forced myself to read it slowly. I'm like, ah, actually it was there the whole time. Like the Valge Princes and things like that coming
Yes.
in and all those like
Yep.
all those things that become really important later on. I was kind of like, oh, well, I should have paid more attention when it was happening in this book
Yes.
because it actually says a lot about them. And it says a lot
Yes.
about how to
There's a
destroy
lot of-
them and
There's a lot of information.
yeah, and also like how long they've been doing this for, like sort of
Right.
thing, and why Maeve is the way she is, and there's just a lot you need to pay attention to, but try not to like look too much into the details because otherwise you'll just drive yourself crazy because we did that too.
Yeah. It's not my favorite only because I just
But you love Chaol as well,
miss
and there wasn't,
Chaol so much.
and there wasn't,
And
there
it was
wasn't a lot
such a-
on Chaol either.
No, but
It
when
was-
there was something, it was like a.
I should say
it
this.
almost like gave me hope a little bit because
Yeah.
it was like
'Cause they were
he
still
maybe
missing
was
each
my
other.
mate, but then he wasn't. And
Yeah.
then like, oh, I sometimes I reach for him in the bed, but I know it can't happen. And I'm
Yeah.
like, can you not play
It
with
was-
my emotions like that? Because I still wish
Yeah.
they were together. And when I read stuff like that, and there was a bunch
Yeah.
of this book, and I was just like torn. And sometimes I'd be like, okay, I'm getting over it. And then it was like another sentence where she's like playing with the ring, and I'm just like, just fly back and be with Chaol, please. Take a plane,
Yeah.
invent a plane and fly on it back to your lover, please.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a good segue into the next one.
Yeah,
So
I think we did pretty good
Yeah.
with that.
mhm.
Not too much fighting.
Yeah. Just a little screaming.
Just a little, not screaming, we just
Disagreement, I said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like just
I
a
said
little-
it, and then I was like, that did not sound like disagreement, but I did say disagreement. I don't know like why it said Anyway, thank you for tuning in. If you liked it, give us a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel.
Comment. Any questions you have, even if it's just a statement, like what you liked about it, what you hated about it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd love to hear it. I love discussing it, and you know.
And feel free to like contact us on all of our social media, which is in the link below. And yeah, thanks for watching After the Read.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
We're done.
Oh, woo. We didn't watch.
We did do much better. Look, we bought Pickett today.